And now before I wrap this up, let me show you one last example of how all these techniques go together. And this, not an assignment for the Geographic, but a big advertising campaign I did for Dewar's Scotch. And they sent me over to Scotland with an obscene budget and a crew of 9 and 3 clients to watch over me, you know, no pressure. And one of the things they asked me to do was photograph salmon fishing on Scotland's River Tweed. And man, again, I'd done my homework. I knew what I wanted. I came down that windy road to the River Tweed. I had images in my head of backlit salmon and silver cataracts and leaping fish, and the windy road delivered us, and there it was. Looked like the East Sandusky River, you know? The river without drama. I turned to my art director. I said, "What are we going to do?" He said, "I don't know, I'm car sick. I'm going back to the room." So it was up to me. You know, how many times every week is it up to you? I got talking to one of the guides, the gillies, the gentleman there in the foreground. Each beat of the river, each stretch has a different guide, a different gilly, and they know every rock and every shoal and every riffle. And he told me that salmon fishing in Scotland's a very formal affair. You wear a coat and a tie and a hat and chest waders. Now I'm getting intrigued. And then he told me that when you catch a salmon, you bring it up to the fish hut, and in that hut is a leather book, and in that book is listed every salmon that's been caught on that beat in the last 100 years. Now I'm getting intrigued. Now I'm seeing this great formal dance that these guys are doing, this salmon gavotte on the river, you know. And then he said, "You know, laddie, there was mist on the water this morning. That's unusual for this time of year." And my intellect climbed all over it, and it said, I want to be in the place of most potential. So I'm out there 2 hours before dawn, and when the sun starts coming up, I got the boat, I got the gilly, I got the fisherman, I got the right lens, I got the right focus, I got my first right answer. I got room up there for type, a little bottle of scotch. I know what I'm doing, right? And then my intuition starts screaming at me. It says, "Turn around, Dewitt. You're shooting the wrong way." Yes, sir, I listened to it. I turned around, man, now it was really getting nice. I'm trying to pay attention to realize that this photograph is made by body language, not by facial expression. Get that right on the 2 guys. And at the same time, my intellect realizes the sun's going to come up behind those trees, so I yelled at the guys to get in the boat and rowed down there because I want to be in the place of most potential. And man, now it's really getting nice. And talk about having my technique down. I've got a walkie-talkie in that boat, yes. I'm not worried about making mistakes. I'm just looking for the next right answer, and they just kept coming. And this was the final ad. Why would a man rise before dawn to fish for salmon on Scotland's River Tweed? Why indeed? The good things in life stay that way. So that's how all these techniques go together. And I hope you can take those metaphors and use them in your own life. Because by being creative, we really do fall in love with the world. And in that moment, we transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. My photography has given me so many of those moments. Moments where the whole world just shines, you know, with meaning and power and wonder and reverence. Moments where I know that if I'm open enough to see it, I always live in a world full of light and abundance and opportunity. And you know, the beauty of that world shows us an incredible example of how to live, of how to love, of a banquet laid, of a cup overflowing, of just putting it out there, the very best that we have to offer every day, without any regard to whether it's received or not. And I know that if we let that beauty fill us up, that we too will overflow. And it'll come out in everything we do. In the quality of the way we conduct ourselves, in the caliber of the products we offer, in the depth of service we give to our clients and our customers, and then just as clearly, in the way we treat our family, in the service we give in our community, in the stories we tell to our kids at bedtime. It'll come out in our lives. And I had that come so clearly to me one night when I stood beside the great fountain geyser in Yellowstone. And as the sun began to set, the geyser began to go off. And it was just unspeakably beautiful. And I kept photographing and dancing and crying out until that last marvelous apparition had risen up from the geyser and disappeared. And I thought, there are probably 30,000 people in the park, and they all ought to be right with me watching this incredible miracle. And then I realized that it really didn't matter, because that banquet, that miracle, is out there every day. Not just at Yellowstone at sunset, but every day in everything we do. To fill us to overflowing, to connect us with our passion, to infuse us with creativity and with love. See that vision, my friends, and seize the day. Thank you very much.